Hey everybody, welcome back to our last little 40 minutes here, we'll say about. So, you all rest the evening. Your clothes dry out definitely way before, you know, anything. I mean, Zach probably put his extra clothes on, like, sticks next to the fire to dry out after he got changed.
That's what I did.
Yes. So, they were dried very quickly.
And then caught on fire.
No.
I'm still sleeping in the nude out in the open.
It's fine.
Well, I would have rotated everyone's clothes throughout my watch. I have nothing better to do.
They probably would have been done, and you probably could have been like folded them up and given them to like people for the morning or something.
He left him with a little mint on the top of it as well.
Oh, no, that was Pinky.
Yeah, I was just
saying
Pinky came out.
But morning. Well, you'll all awaken. It never got dark, so it was light the entire time. But your effective morning will come.
Right.
I'm gonna go do a little hunting and try something better than rations for us.
Ulfgar seems even more uncomfortable after having to lay next to someone.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, you'll be able to catch some decent game. As usual, you get a sense that this place, like many of the others, isn't particularly safe, unfortunately.
Yeah. I am dressed now, by the way.
You didn't go hunting naked?
No.
You didn't, like, entice them to come closer?
I have a tasty salt lick for you. You guys can say it, so can I. Fuck you.
Sorry, we can't have nice
I don't want Snakey to meet my snake.
Snakey snake.
You'll take note that it seems like a few different species of very large feline seem to patrol this area.
I will mention such. Be careful.
I'll be on the lookout.
Roger. Question. Did Signe sleep outside of a tent all night?
Signe, I thought, slept in the tent.
Or did
Yeah.
she sleep in a tent?
She's
Okay,
like,
then
I'm the only
if
one who
she
slept
got
out in
sunburned.
the air.
Are you sunburnt a little inside now?
Mm-mm. He's fine.
Doesn't give. Yeah.
He has no
I don't
tan
think
or
it's
anything.
normal sun.
you're dressed now, right?
Yes, I didn't go hunting naked.
I mean, like, all three of you.
I have at least pants on. Yeah, I would be
Same.
dressed.
No, I have, like, pretty much only
Just
pants. And, like,
She's like, ah, yes.
until we get going, I'm enjoying myself. Partly because, you know, I
See how awkward he is?
see how awkward Ulfgar is, and I'm like, this is hilarious, so...
Like, he's doing that thing of avoidance where if you talk to him, he'll look in your direction, but he's looking above you. Which is difficult for him because how fucking tall you are.
Yes.
I forgot that I'm very tall in this
And
group.
I'm a fucking dwarf.
So normally he'd be staring directly into your tits.
No, I'm more like belly
No, probably
button to
more
her.
like groin. Yeah. Belly button and groin area.
Well,
Great.
luckily I'm wearing pants.
Grits is definitely tit tight.
Just about, yeah.
You can have a pretty enjoyable meal of
Exactly.
some kind of. It seemed like some kind of large rodent of some kind.
Mole.
Like like a dog-sized rat, but it wasn't a rat. It was weird.
Ooh, ROUSs.
Yes.
What does it
Yes.
taste like?
Tastes fine. It's meat.
Like emu.
You know,
Tree
my
moo.
favorite taste is fine.
Ah,
I'll baste it in some wine.
it's probably more chickeny than beefy. We'll put it that way.
Alright.
Ah, it's the other white meat.
Yeah.
The other white meat.
We'll give that assessment.
Bad jokes in my head. I'm just.
They're really awful jokes. Anyway, you'll enjoy breakfast. Zach will attempt to have some. He seems distracted, like he still doesn't seem like he's quite. Wow, we just did that happen. He doesn't seem like he's quite recovered, but maybe enough that he's like trying to get something down, but it seems like he's still distracted and just can't focus on whatever's going on with you guys. He's like not noticing anything at all.
Not noticing our
fine.
kids?
Nope.
Dang. He's so boring. Let's be honest. Cool.
He's vanilla.
So
After we eat the rat.
you're ready to break camp?
Yep.
Okay. You'll continue your journey north. Now, did you plan to head fairly straight north, which would kind of cut into the forest, or to kind of follow the grassland areas?
I think it might be safer to stay in the grasslands.
To kind of wind up along that kind of in between the two like large rock formations, and then up towards the where the grassland continues around the cliff up until where it meets with the forests that lead right into this area here.
The orange path.
Yeah.
Yeah, the orange path. Okay.
The orange path. That's the plan, right, guys?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Sure.
Sure. I got no fun ways to get through this other than walking. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm actually going to be up ahead a little bit and stealthing,
Okay.
especially when we get to the woods.
How much can suddenly cannot remember the dragon's name.
Woodchuck.
Fafnir.
Fafnir.
There we go.
Fafnir.
How much can Fafnir carry?
Lawful.
I don't
He's
know
just
what.
a pseudo dragon.
He's
He's
a
small.
tiny dragon.
But could he carry like a bag?
Oh, jeez. I don't think so. All right, he's not only tiny.
Just
his
the
strength.
bag itself.
His strength is 6, and he's
Yeah.
tiny.
But a bag would only weigh at most like 5 pounds, right?
Is
God.
it just a normal bag? Is it a bag of holding? Is it a bag of
Bagness.
bagness? Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what a bag of devouring? I don't know.
Oh
It's
god,
like
no.
an empty backpack.
Why would you give him an empty backpack?
Because it might weigh the same as a bag of holding.
Oh.
I'm gonna say an empty backpack. Definitely not, because it's way bigger than him. Because he's still tiny. He's like the size of a small
Mouse.
cat. Mouse is really small.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's see.
And I can lift my bed and it's not empty.
What are you trying to do? That's what I forgot.
Develop a fun way to travel.
Oh. So
Everyone
if it is a
hop
bag
in the
of
bag and he
holding,
flies us for 10
it
minutes.
weighs
we
15
hop out.
pounds. It weighs 15 pounds, a bag of holding.
You know what? Just because I can, I'm gonna do the math real quick.
Okay. The dragon could theoretically, at most, carry 45. But
Cool.
usually, you can't. It depends on the awkward shape of things, for one thing.
It has straps.
It can't carry a backpack and fly. It can't carry a bag of holding and fly. The bag of holding is its size.
I mean, if you really want to do that, have one of the skeletons walk around with it.
Yeah. What do you want this thing to carry that it
I don't
can
know.
actually physically carry and fly around? Because even, yes, it's got a strength of 6. It could theoretically carry half of 90, which is 45 pounds. But I'm going to tell you here, I don't think it could decently carry that
For any amount of time.
while flying. Because
Yeah.
flying adds another kink in the entire idea. No, I call the things he was carrying a thing. Thank you very much. I did not refer to the dragon as any gender or anything. Fafnir is a Fafnir. Thank you very much.
Fafnir is a noble boy.
Well, he can't carry any things. Well, he
Not
could.
anymore.
He could. Just
Not much.
not...
Could he carry a small cat?
He probably could limit...
In his belly.
He is a small cat.
He is a small cat. That's the
You
issue.
should carry a mouse.
You just scruff it.
Anyway. We're walking.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Anyway,
can come up with all these schemes while we're walking.
so... Chance, please give me perception as you're kind of stealthing forward. Alright. A couple hundred feet in front of you, you take note of a number of Kalina. And it takes you a minute to realize these are different from anything you've seen before. Like, they look a little like the Warbringers. Their coloration's a little different. But then you realize they are much larger. They would be comparable to the size of something like an ogre or a troll.
Great. I'm gonna hold up a hand to you guys, like, stop. Stay.
I thought you were stealthing ahead.
Yes.
We wouldn't be able to see you.
Fine, I'll use a signal mirror and
I'm just
flash you
saying.
guys.
Look, you were the one that chose to stealth ahead. That's your own fault.
I signal mirror you.
We know where you are now.
That's fine.
Do you
I don't
point
care
out
if
what
you
you're
do.
looking at?
Yeah, or do you just flash us?
He flashed us all day yesterday.
But this is very, very specific.
I'll start
flashing.
moving back to the group.
Okay.
Very, very large Kalina. Ogre-sized.
How many?
How many did I see?
About 4 of them. They don't seem to be following your path. It seems as though you're intercepting their path. Almost as if, like, they're going perpendicular to you.
So they're going like east to west, and we're heading north and south.
Yeah. So, like, this is around the item where they're kind of going between the forest and that, like, area between these large, like, stone structures and the little, like... So they're, like, heading towards here from over this way. They're kind of crossing.
So, let's just wait until
Yes.
they go.
Not quite that, because that's going the same way as you. They're turning a little bit at the end there towards this area right here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, let's huddle down in the grass, stay low, stay quiet.
Okay.
So what I
Slop
said,
down.
more words.
They eventually pass out of sight. I mean, Ulfgar, you can take note of them pretty decently once he points them out.
How fast
Your
are
angle
you?
isn't great for getting like a really good sight on them, but you can notice them.
How fast are they moving?
Pretty brisk pace. Faster than you guys kind of march at, but like
Do
not
I-
super fast.
Would I recognize them at all? Like, because I've seen the war color once.
They're bigger than the Warbringers.
Yeah,
Or
you have not seen these before.
I haven't seen these.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold up a hand and just go.
They'll eventually pass.
Yeah, I just want to give it a little time after they pass, so it's safe, and then we can start moving again.
Okay.
You can see that these large rock structures, they're immensely sized, and they look like just almost boulders that are miles wide, miles large, that just seem to have almost plopped down from somewhere.
Plop rocks.
Yeah. They're like sticking out of the ground. They're very stone. You can look at them and they're kind of like sharp and jagged. You don't see signs of any kind of plant life growing on them. Not that there might not be, but you don't see anything. They stretch up maybe like 100, 200 feet up.
Alright.
They're very unusual.
Are
But
they smooth or jagged?
they're jagged.
All over, or just jagged, like the outside edge cut of it?
Looks pretty jagged all over. As if, like, it does look like it was, like, torn from, like, rock somewhere. So maybe this did fall from the cliff or something like that. But they're incredibly sized. So if this thing would have fallen down, it would have been quite a spectacle. These things are, like, bigger than your castle kind of things.
Okay.
Fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are they in a crater, or do they look like they settled gently?
It's really hard to tell, because if they had been in a crater, the ground has flattened out in this area. So dirt would have filled in whatever was there. Currently there is no crater around them. They're just, like, dirt up to their edges.
Okay. But it looks like they've been there for a while then.
Yes.
I'm gonna look at you. Is there any kind of specific stone?
I'll do a masonry work thing. Mason's tools.
Dwarven scenty things with
I'm
stone?
so smart with this, guys. Oh, I
More
actually
than spider sense.
Dwarven. I lick the stone and then
It's pretty hard.
it's on. No.
It is a pretty hard stone, but you don't use a lot of this. It's not normally something that's used for masonry, so you're not as familiar. You can tell that it's
pretty solid.
It's pretty solid.
Is it solid like a rock?
Yes.
Oh, like a rock.
Looks like rock to me.
Are there any campfires nearby?
You don't see any.
Damn. I was hoping to smell what the rock was cooking.
Too bad. Not this time.
Yes.
You'll pass by the
We've all
rocks.
corrupted me.
You'll pass by these boulders and continue going into the area where the field eventually kind of meets up with the forest that you're kind of heading into to find this passageway. You'll kind of move in closer to the cliff and kind of use it as a movement for traveling that way. Eventually, though, you will reach the point where you'll have to enter into the forest itself.
So, before we go into the forest, do we want to do anything specific? Any bag of holding tricks?
I'll stay
Cut down a
ahead.
tree with our nipples.
Ying, ying, ying.
Now, it doesn't work on wood, only glass.
And stone. It technically would work on anything softer than diamond, sir, so...
Make you We need to get off this conversation.
Oh God.
So no, the real question was, do we want to do anything before we go into the woods, or are we just march
Into
on?
the woods.
Into the woods we go.
Are we skipping or walking?
Over the hill.
Well,
I'm
you
searching
know,
for
I'm
a
walking.
cow. I'm searching for a cow that has milky white skin.
You're not
Who's
gonna
looking
find
for the
one.
cape?
Someone
Anyone looking for
call
the red
Ulfgar.
cape?
Or the hair
Red as
as
blood.
the cape
The
of
hair
red
is
blood.
yellow as the hair is yellow as corn.
No,
And
they're
for
not
some
getting the
reason-
reference. They're not getting the reference. You
Nope.
kept it
No.
going too far.
Too far, man. Too far.
Yeah.
Let's cut down those trees.
Uh-huh.
You guys
They
need
can't
culture.
build siege weapons if there aren't any trees.
We're not burning a
There.
forest down.
Who said
We
anything
can't,
about
however,
burning?
cut it down with our nipples.
Wrong, wrong.
I'm gonna stay ahead and keep stealthing.
Okay. The forest here is twisted.
Ooh,
It's
not
definitely
great.
easier traveling than some of the forests you've encountered in the past, but it's still difficult travel. There's large, almost like rock formations that kind of burst up where the trees actually grow around them, so that you'll have like the tree almost kind of with its roots spreading around these rocks going down in the ground. And in other places, you'll have like strange bushes of like thorns in between two rock formations, making it very difficult and very painful to travel between them. But sometimes you almost have to push through them.
Okay. So we're pushing through the rocks.
No, you're pushing through thorn bushes.
There's thorn bushes.
Yeah. Sorry. You go for about half a day, trying to still stay close to the cliff face, but it becomes very difficult to see at times, and the sort of passage you have to make through it becomes difficult. Eventually, though, you do move into like almost a trail, an area where it's a lot easier to walk. It looks as though it's a game trail, but it's a very large game trail. Something at least large size, if not huge size, uses this as a game trail chance. You can easily recognize that without any checks.
Okay.
Can we do a check to see if we would know something that might
There's
use it?
I want to what I want to do is see how fresh if there's any fresh tracks.
Okay, sure.
I'll check as well, because you know what? I don't know why we let chance do all this when I have a higher survival.
Oh, we're doing survival. Yes. I know all about it. All about it, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying.
So Ulfgar, you're kind of like looking around and studying the area around here. You find signs of something very large here. It seems very beast-like, but it seems bipedal, maybe? Maybe some kind of massive... You don't know what. But you see seems that it looks like it walks on too. But...
I found tracks, but I have no fucking clue.
No.
Can we do checks then to see if we would know?
Sure, if you want to roll some nature, if he's pointing them out.
Ooh. Nature's so good, guys.
Yeah, you've never seen anything like this. You're studying it for a while, and the two of you kind of scratch your heads about it. maybe it's some kind of, like, giant ape is the best thing you can describe it as. But it's different from that.
Big monkey.
Could they have been like the Kalida that we just saw? That maybe
This
went
is
through
bigger
here?
than them.
Hmm.
Now we can take it.
If there's only one, we could probably take it. If there's more than one, we could still probably take it.
Do we take this path, or do we stay off it?
Well, why don't we stay off it, but stay parallel to it? Like, try to keep it in sight, but not be directly on it. That way we're in a better place to hide if we need to.
Okay. You'll move along the path then, kind of paralleling the game trail. It does a pretty good job of actually following the cliff, and once you get a hold of this, it makes it a lot easier to travel through here. You definitely didn't get as far as you wanted that first half a day of travel, as it was quite difficult to kind of pierce through the forest originally. You were finding a lot of difficulty and slowdown with the nature of this place, and even now around the game trail it does seem easier travel, but not traveling on the trail. You're definitely traveling at a slower pace than you were when you were out in the fields. Another half day goes by, and you're getting about to the time when you would rest. Are you going to try to find a place to camp? What's your plans?
How sturdy? What kind of trees are in here in this forest?
They seem to be some kind of hardwood, mainly. There seems to be a couple different species. The most predominant one is a type of hardwood. Fairly tall. I'd say like at least around 50 for an average species.
I might recommend resting in the trees.
Very broad roots, very broad top, I'll say, kind of things too. So they tangle in with each other pretty well, creating a pretty big canopy. There's like little spots where light does fell through. Not very broad leaves, so that's kind of where a lot of light comes through and allows for small bushes and stuff. Especially these pricker bushes to exist down here.
Right. I mean, we have all the climbing gear and stuff, so...
I just think it might be safer with such large creatures in this wood.
Assuming they can't climb.
Or look directly at us.
The likelihood of them running into us when we're in a tree compared to on the ground, though.
No, he's saying that we would be at eye height instead of on the ground. And we would have no way of defending fully otherwise.
High enough that, you know, they would be hitting their heads on the branches before they'd see us.
I mean, I'm not opposed to climbing the trees. I think it would probably be a little bit safer. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily safer from whatever those are, because we don't know if they can climb or not.
I will try to climb.
You said you will try to climb?
I make no guarantee on that.
Okay, I mean, there's a couple of us that can definitely climb. Worst case scenarios, those climb
We tie
up.
you and
Yeah,
pull
and
you
haul
up.
you up with ropes.
Ow, but okay.
Or we stick you in the bag shortly, climb, and let
And
you
then
out.
pop you out.
Either way, really.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun, but it'll work. But yeah, I think that's the best idea for us. Signe, any glaring opposition?
Other than the fact that I'll have to tie myself to a tree, probably not.
I mean, you could risk just laying on a branch, but I would.
I will fall off.
Exactly.
I'd recommend securing
A
yourself.
tether. Yep. Alright, up we go.
You guys want to hop in a bag as we climb?
Climbing is what? Athletics?
Yeah.
I'll be at the bottom, watching, waiting to see if I have to try to catch anyone.
Okay.
I thought you were a strong person.
That doesn't mean I'm good at climbing. I'm a dwarf in armor.
What's your acrobatics, though? Or your athletics, I mean.
Like, +2, I think.
Oh.
That's better than me. I got a -1.
I'll try to climb.
I got a
Right?
+9.
Nope. I make it one branch up and fall.
Because I'm a skill whore.
Hey!
What a surprise, I had to catch you.
Catch me, Ulfgar!
She purposely fell.
She doesn't fall far. It's not very difficult to catch her. Works
Yeah.
fine.
Other than a freaking lead weight, but yeah.
Well, at least you're not, like, armored out the wazoo.
That's true.
Gonna
Alright,
try
and then
again.
I guess try again. How many times does it take for a dwarf to climb?
I mean,
Apparently more than
You don't get
I
anywhere.
will-
You like
I will
grab
try-
on,
I
and then
will
you just like you see you like slip down as soon as you grab on, and just like thunk
I'm
backwards.
tying off a rope and throwing it down.
I'm like, I'm tired, guys. Help me up.
You'll be able to get up then. I guess Ulfgar, are you trying to?
Climb a rope.
No, I was gonna say take a shift, or are you just resting down there?
oh, of course we're gonna take shifts.
Are you staying on the bottom to take your shift, or are you gonna climb up though?
Oh, I'll climb up with the rope. It should be cool.
Yeah, rope makes it pretty easy.
Cool.
What's your shift order then?
Well,
Same as
I
last night?
go first.
Alright, so you'll be first, I'll be second.
I'll
I think
go
Kate
third.
was third.
All right,
Fourth.
first 2 shifts uneventful. You guys are resting in the trees. It's not the best rest. It's acceptable. Chance. During your shift, you begin to hear noise, cracking branches. A lot of them. You can't quite see what's going on. You just hear this noise that seems to be rushing through the, like, you know, it's not a quick noise either. It's like the cracking is like almost approaching at a plodding pace. Lots of cracking.
Would any of us wake up?
You can roll me perceptions with disadvantage.
I'm gonna start untying myself.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Signe's asleep, but the other 2 of you are awakened by this loud noise that seems to be going on.
Does it sound like it's coming towards us? Going by us? Or
It's
is it
hard to
okay?
tell. There's a lot of these, like, almost cracking of branches and, you know, kind of movement. And it's loud and echoing.
Well, first of all, wake up Signe.
Quietly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second of all, I'm gonna use my peepers to try to see.
Not peepers.
Sure.
Can I try to look as well?
Sure.
Just a normal
Yep.
perception.
My goggles give me advantage for a crit of 28.
Yeah. So,
la-di-da.
as the others of you are kind of like struggling to see it, you begin to notice things, Ulfgar. Movement. Things that seem to be moving in amongst the trees. And you begin to notice them. Massive tusks. Huge bodies. You begin to notice that moving along the game trail is a herd of elephants, but much bigger and meaner than any elephant you have ever seen before.
Hey, Chance,
Yes.
that passed without trace.
I don't have that.
That's Zach.
Oh yeah. Hey, Zach, who's totally here.
He's totally not feeling well still.
Maybe I got.
He
like,
just
a
can't
one-shot.
concentrate on casting the spell on you. Too bad.
I suggest maybe going higher.
Yeah, can you tell? Can we? Once he points, like, can he point them out to us? I'm assuming, and we see them then. I mean, it's not actually nighttime. It's just
Yeah.
daytime.
You can notice them eventually. Like, you can see the movement first, and as they're getting closer, you begin to, like, realize that's what they are.
Can we get a gauge of how far their reach would be? Like, if we're within reach?
You're probably, with how you're up in the trees, you're probably outside of their reach still.
And they're not going to be climbing, most likely.
No. They seem to be traveling along the game trail.
Do I have disadvantage in stealth if I don't?
If you don't have your armor on, you are fine with normal stealth.
So we have a chance of being quiet.
So even without moving, it still imposes
Oh,
disadvantage.
I'll say if you're just trying to, like, stay still and make no noise, theoretically you still have disadvantage because it's just, like, moving the armor causes a lot of noise. So it's less like, if I don't have the armor and I'm trying to minimize my movement, it's easier in no armor because it doesn't make a lot of noise. Your armor is very noisy is the problem.
Actually, if he was sleeping, he wouldn't be in his armor anyways.
Yes, so he's probably not in his armor.
Unless I put my back against the tree and take it off.
And then you impose penalties, though.
Yeah.
You don't get your full rest. So.
Then I guess I'm not in my armor.
Just saying, you probably would have taken it off because we're the.
Like, I can sleep in mine because it's light.
Yeah, you can sleep in light armor without penalty, but anything
Heavier.
heavier you can. Yeah, medium or heavy armor.
And I got word.
Aww.
The creatures don't seem to pay you any heed. They just pass by.
Okay.
Sweet.
Just kind of stomping along. It seems to be a herd. Ulfgar, you can count that maybe there's like 36 individuals, adults, seemingly led by a pretty large, a little larger individual. Hard to tell. You don't have a very good angle to see if they're male or female. There are a number of young amongst there too, and juveniles. Probably about like 45 individuals total.
Alright.
And they eventually will pass.
Back to sleep. Anything during Signe's?
Nope. The rest of the night passes, and you'll wake up refreshed. Mostly refreshed. You're still feeling... You're not feeling perfect. You got a decent night's sleep, but it's still like you're sleeping up in a tree. Just straighten branches.
Yeah.
Down we go!
So you'll kind of shimmy down into the woods, and as soon as you get down the tree, you begin to hear a bit of crashing from nearby. Seemingly from down the game trail again.
Coming towards us, or do we have to do perception to see?
The game trail passes by you, and it sounds like it's on the game trail again, so it sounds like it's relatively coming towards you.
I mean, can we tell if it's in the, like... Sorry, I'm gonna say, can we tell if it's in the same direction as the elephants passed, or came from?
It sounds like it would be coming from the direction the elephants came and following their path, almost. At least that way down the game trail.
Oh. we're all at the bottom of the tree right now.
Yes, it's like the last one of you got down with the help of probably Chance. Waited till last since he's good at climbing to basically like all of you get down and then probably took the rope down and climbed down himself. We'll say.
Hide behind the tree. I don't know. What are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of shimmy around and get behind the tree as much as possible.
Okay.
Or a tree.
If something tries to run at us, I'm gonna bloop it.
You're gonna bloop it?
Bloop.
Oops.
And I'm working on myself.
Okay. The crashing kind of like through the treetops continues to be heard. You can kind of like sense something very large kind of moving down the game trail and getting closer and getting closer. And then it's beginning to kind of... Then it stops. You don't hear anything for a moment. You hear some cracking, as if something is moving in kind of branches close to you. You can't get a sight of it. You're trying to like look out a little bit, but it's just like it's.
I'll try and peer around that tree.
I have a higher pass than that.
Okay. Ulfgar and Grits, you're the first to notice this thing. This thing can be described as almost humanoid. It is massive. Probably nearly 2 stories tall. It has huge clawed hands, which you see one on the large tree, just kind of like gripping into it. Huge kind of like almost... it looks almost vaguely like wolf-like in this elongated face with huge fangs. It kind of walks with a hunch. You can see that it's got like very loose, almost hides kind of draped over it. In a very, very primitive kind of... it maybe looks like hide armor. But it is like very hard, like very barely thrown together. You see it kind of like sniffing around the air a little bit. As it does that, all of you kind of like get a whiff of something awful.
Worse than us.
Yeah, just something bad. And then, Ulfgar, you're certainly the first to notice something. You can't hear anybody else's breathing anymore. Which is unusual for you. You're very perceptive.
I assume I can't hear anything at all, then.
Checking. Hold on.
Just let me check, yeah, everything just goes quiet.
Alright, well then instead of booping, if something comes at us, I'm gonna use the ring.
As you kind of like prep to use the ring, a kind of furry, kind of clawed hand will kind of gently put its hand on top of yours, and a figure you'll see a Khalida figure standing next to you, shaking his head and holding up a finger to its mouth with its other hand.
That's what that a trace on us.
And we'll end right there.
Okay.
Spooky, scary, weird things. I
Which
can't say
one?
skeletons because we know skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice. They're friendly.
They're nice skeletons.
Mhm.
Oy.
So, this was an exciting adventure.
Yeah.
And silly.
Yeah. Basically, you know, a species of tropical mammoth walked by. You know? Effectively, it's the same size and
Checks
shape
out.
as a mammoth, except without the fur. And, you know, surfing with some sharks on the river, and some kind of horrible creature that's vaguely humanoid. It's humanoid enough. We'll put it that way. Exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, and totally silence was cast on you. So,
Yay.
yes. Yes, it probably helped. Because one of you had a stealth of 3.
I'm Tiv. I think I'm gonna go puke.
That's awful. Bye, Tiv. Have a
Rip.
good evening.
Bye.
How about
Feel
we give the
better.
rest of us? Rachel, shout out.
Rachel, Jade Vala, everywhere else.
Cool.
That's the shout out.
Mads.
Hi, I'm here.
Cool. Joe.
See everyone Saturday for discussing tabletop.
Exactly. Dennis Narva Dracovin. I'm here pretty often. A little less daily lately, just because some things on my schedule have been a bit busy. But the schedule down below does have daily streams, so most of the role-playing ones, you know, those are pretty set, except for Legacy's on break. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully streaming during the day. Hat in Time in the afternoon with Just Lee Belmont, which has been really fun doing that one. We've been trying to do the multiplayer there. It's been fun. And 7 Days to Die in the evening, and then discussing tabletop and Sundays at Tabletop over the weekend with Joe. Yep. So that should be the major stuff coming up in the next couple of days for me. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next week to continue this exciting things that are going on here with our players. Exciting discoveries and exploration and creatures. And all the naked time, which Zach was too sick to, like, enjoy.
To enjoy.
Rip.
Or hide from.
Both. Too out of it with, like, you know, bad intestinal problems to, like, you know, really, like, get a hold of what was going on with crazy naked time. But, you know.
Naked
But we
time.
did shave off like a week of travel, so
You did by surfing on a river. That was a weird one. Because,
Yes.
like, it took me a while to figure out what the hell that would, like, how this would work and all. So that was like, you're like, man, you make me, like, figure stuff out.
We're nothing if not interesting.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah, we like to throw kinks in everything.
River surfing was definitely one of those interesting kinks.
We were like, you want to do what now? Also, I did explain it on the break to my husband. He's like, that makes no sense. That physics. I'm like, shh, D&D, shh. And he's like, physics.
It really shouldn't have worked. It really shouldn't have worked at all.
It shouldn't.
But magic.
But
Magic explains like 3% of that entire thing, and the rest of the percentages are just like, I don't know, maybe.
3% is better than 0.
That's true.
It's the 3% of not dying that we needed.
Yes.
That can be accurate-ish. Probably. Maybe accurate. Anyway, yeah, so... God. Remember, just, follow, like, subscribe, subscribe on YouTube if you haven't done that, all that other stuff, all the links below to support, Hangout, chat, Discord, Patreon, all that. This has been a lot of brain deadness, and so I finally gained control of it. Anyway, see you later, folks. Bye.
Bye.